Hello everyone and welcome to Untwist Your Stitches. My name is Rose and this is my Flosstube channel about cross stitching mainly, but there will be a few other crafts thrown in here and there when I get a chance to get into all of that. I do crochet, I do a little bit of sewing. In the past I've done some scrapbooking, but that's kind of been on the back burner. Some beading, and just whatever grabs my fancy. For those of you who are crafters, you probably realize that this tends to take you into other crafting genres, I guess is what you would say, because your cross stitch, when you go to finish it, then you can be sewing, or you can be scrapbooking, or you can be doing all these different things. So one craft leads into another. Welcome. If you are a new viewer, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I appreciate everyone who subscribes to my channel. It's always fun to watch that subscription count go up and know that there are people out there that like seeing what I've been doing, and maybe I'm inspiring them. Maybe I am. Hold on, please. Sorry, my puppy just came in and was trying to get up on my lap, so I had to tell him to go make himself comfortable someplace else. Anyway, it makes me happy to see my subscriber numbers increase, and it makes me feel like I've got something that you're interested in hearing about. So let's move on. I like to start my videos not with a life update, but with a question or an observation or maybe an idea that for feedback. So this month, what I am asking you is, what is your favorite fabric count? And what is the highest count you've ever worked on? And why do you prefer your favorite? My favorite used to be 14 count. I used to love working on it because the holes were so easy to see. But I discovered that working on 14 count, you didn't always get a finish size that would fit in any of the pre-made frames. And when I first started, I was doing a lot of framing. I don't frame as much anymore. I find other ways to display my projects because it just is, it's easier when you're not trying to fit it in a prescribed size. And if you do go in and get them custom framed, it is so expensive. So for me, finding new and inventive ways to display my pieces is something that I really treasure. So 16 count on Ada, which I do prefer working on Ada. I know a lot of people say it doesn't give as smooth a finish, or they like the linen or the even weave. Both are perfectly fine, but my comfort level, and I do cross stitch for comfort, my comfort level is the Ada fabric, and you can make it look just as amazing on Ada as you can on linen, or as you can on even weave. So don't be afraid to just stitch on Ada. Don't let other people tell you it's not as good, because it is. It can be just as good. I also enjoy 32 count over 2. I enjoy 28 count over 2. And I have some 18, 20, and 22 count Ada. All of them are enjoyable to me, But the one that I tend to gravitate to, the one that I tend to like the finish size with, is the 16 count. It's just, I don't know, it's my thing. So what do you like to stitch on, and what count, mainly what count size? Because I don't care if you stitch on Ada, I don't care if you stitch on linen. They're all beautiful when they're finished. But count size, what do you like to? And what is the highest you have ever worked on? I cannot work on anything that is smaller than 32 count. I have tried 36 count. I can't see it. Even with my magnifying light, I cannot see the 36 count. And it frustrates me, and it's not enjoyable, so I don't do it. So the highest count I work on is 32 count. But I have tried 36 count, and I just can't do it. You people that can do 36, 40, what have I heard lately, 56? All of you ladies that and gentlemen that can work on those counts, I applaud you. I think you're amazing, because I can't see them, so I can't work on them. So let me know in the comment section what you like, and what your favorite is. So now we're going to go on, and the next section is FFOs and FOs. Those are fully finished objects, which means you've got them ready to display, either as a pillow, as a framed piece, as a flat fold, whatever it is. FFOs are completely ready to set out, either during seasons or during actual holidays or whatever, but they're finished, completely finished, ready to display. FOs means that you have fully finished the stitching portion of your project. And I have one. It is called Nice Snowflakes. It's a Filigram, is the company that produced the chart, and it was something that I did for the Christmas in July stitching prompt. I didn't fully embrace Christmas in July because I've got some other things going on that I wanted to work on, but this was one of my Christmas in July stitching pieces, and I was able to fully finish it. And this is Nice Snowflakes. It is on 16 count hazy gray, and as I said, it's a filigram piece. Now I changed some colors. This is the original. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, here is the original. It had seven different colors in it. Mine had a few more colors because I wanted to spice it up a little bit. So the little snowman here, this is an over-dyed floss. It is a Silks for You. I'm not going to remember. I'll put it in my description box what the name of the silk was. I changed the bird up here. This bird was supposed to be a bluebird, but he kind of blended into the blues on the little snowman's hat, so I changed him into a red bird. This was supposed to be a blackbird, so because I didn't have my bluebird over here, I changed him and made him a bluebird. This section is different from what the charted is. The charted Let me take this out so you can see it a little better. The charted piece had these going all the way across, and just the poinsettias in this little line here. Well, I decided I wanted to bring them around the corner. So I brought them around the corner, and then because I did that, I had to move around some of the snowflakes that were in the air. So they got moved a little bit, but you wouldn't note it. And what else did I change? I changed some of the colors. I changed some of the colors down here to make it more varied. But yes, so this is my finish, and it is going to go on here. I will get it set up on here. I'll add some fabric on the sides. I'll add some fabric down here that will accent what is there. I'll put a bow over here. So there's some work yet to do on this. The reason it is not fully finished is I did not realize when I was bringing my crafting stuff up here that I had forgot some of my crafting items. And what I mean by some of the things that I forgot, I did not bring my iron with me. I have 3 irons. You would think one of those 3 irons would have come with me when I did my move, but no. They're all still back with my husband at our previous location, so I have to wait until he gets up here before I can fully finish this. But it will very soon become a fully finished, and then it will be displayed this Christmas with my other snowmen and stitched pieces. So that is my only finish for this month. Excuse me. Next is all my WIPs. As I said, I did some Christmas in July stitching. The first WIP that I did, and I started it on June 30th, and it ran through July 6th, because what I try to do, mind you, it doesn't always work this way, so that's why I say try, but from Sunday to Saturday, I work on one project. That gives me a full week's worth of time to make progress on each one of my WIPs. I usually try to keep my WIP count between 10 and 15. Right now I have 12, and that's very comfortable for me. I like that. Any more than 15 and it overwhelms me and it doesn't work for me. So 12 is a good number. So from June 30th to July 6th, I worked on the March 12 Months of Snowmen by Zweigart. I have January and February done. They're all being made into pillow forms. They're called envelope pillows, and what that means is you fold the pillow into the cover, and then you can take that cover off and you can wash it easily, and you can use the same pillow form to change out your decorations throughout the year. So I'm working on March, and March's snowman is this. It's got the violets in it. It's got the green hat. His face is complete. This is being stitched on a 14 count fabric. This fabric was given to me by a stitcher who decided she was no longer going to be cross stitching, so she gave all of her fabric, thread, patterns, everything away. And I was the recipient of a very large carload of stitching goodness. And this fabric here is one of those fabrics that I got from her. And he is, as I said, the March Snowman. He was a new start this month. And this is how far I got within that week. It is being done with all the suggested DMC floss colors. And he lives in this project bag that I made myself. And these are the tags that in my last video, it wasn't a regular video. It showed everybody how I track and my brain just went dead. Anyway, how I track my projects, how I keep information about them. And this, in that video, I talked about these tags that I attach to my bags so that I know what's in it, just at a quick look, so I don't have to open each bag to try to remember which project is in which bag. The next thing I worked on from July 7th to July 10th, and I only worked on it for those 4 days because this is part of my SAL. The 60 is only a number SAL for my 60th birthday this year. And what I'm doing is I'm doing patriotic pieces. I finished my first patriotic piece January, February, March, April, in May. Sorry, had to remember. I finished my first piece in May. I started on this in June, but I didn't get a whole lot done because that was when I was actually driving up to Idaho to get to my new house. So then in July, I got a lot done. Now it does not look like I got a lot done, but there are a lot of stitches in this piece. And this is Pluribus Unum. I'm sorry, I should have shown you the pattern. This is a Jan Hicks pattern, Pluribus Unum, and this is what it will look like. Well, similar to what it will look like when it is finished. And this is what I have so far. Now, last time I showed you, I had the Unum already stitched out, but I discovered that I did not count properly and it was not in the right space. So I had to take that out so that I would not just leave it there and then be frustrated at the end that I hadn't remembered that it was in the wrong place. I will show you, I will put up a picture of what it looked like when I started stitching in July, and then this is what it looks like now. All of the white stars were done, and there was a basic frame for the blue, but all of that blue is what I stitched in July. There's a lot of blue there. That's almost 2 full skeins of Wavy Navy by Classic Colorworks. I have 1 length of 6 strands left of the second floss packet for that. So that is Pluribus Unum, and it is my stitch along for my birthday, and I hope to get all the blue finished this month and into the reds and whites for the stripes. The next thing I worked on from, oh, I'm sorry. The fabric is a tea-dyed 16 count. It was originally called French lace, and then I tea-dyed it to get this mottled look. And I'm really happy with how it came out. It's beautiful. I'm not sure if it's showing up for you in its best light, but it is really pretty, and it really works well with the colors that I have chosen. And then from July 11th to July 20th, and this was extra time, actually to July 21st, because I put extra time in on this because I wanted to get the square that I was working on finished. So the next thing is my Stoney Creek baby blanket that I am making for my granddaughter. She will be turning 3 in October, and I am almost 100% sure that on this birthday I will have this done so that she will have it for her 3rd birthday, because I just really am trying to get it finished for her for that, because it's a very special piece for me, and I hope it will be a very special piece for her. I'm gonna need to scoot back a little bit so that I can hold it up and show you. Okay, this is the piece. I've been showing you this basically since my first video, and I'm just gradually moving along. This month, where is he? This month I finished the Unum sloth. Jeez Louise. Sloth. I finished her mom's square for her family. Her last name is White, obviously, and so that is the square for her family. And these 2 little critters are from the Farm Babies, Stoney Creek Farm Babies sampler. So those are Stoney Creek critters. And the last one that I finished, that I took the extra day to do, was the vampire bat. And this little guy I found on Etsy. I will put the information that from the seller that I got it from. But he is the most adorable little vampire bat. And because Stoney Creek just didn't have a V animal that I could put in here, so this one I had to find from a different source. But he fits right in with the rest of them. So the next one will be, when I work on it next, the next one will be the wolf for W. Oh, the other thing that I did is, I didn't realize it until I had already got it stitched, but on the lamb square, I had done it in pink, and it was supposed to be done in yellow. Now, most people would have just left it, but I knew that would bother me if I didn't change it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Because I've got a system going on the colors for the alphabets, and this needed to be orange, and it was pink. So in that week that I worked on it, well, a few extra days in that week, I changed the L and put it the right color, so I can stop fussing about it being wrong. And that is living in my not yet, So Much to Love project bag that I've had for several years. That was something that I had bought before I started making my own bags. So, yeah. All right, so let me see if what my notes tell me is going on next. Then from July 22nd to July 27th, I worked on, wherever he is, my nice snowflakes and was able to complete him. Let me go back. I'm sorry. I always forget this. This fabric is a Afghan fabric. I believe it's a Charles Craft. No, maybe that's not right. Anyway, it is specifically an Afghan fabric for stitching, cross stitch on, and it is an 18 count. A little bit. Need to get rid of some of those fuzz balls there. But it is an 18 count Afghan fabric, and all of the animals and alphabets are being done in the DMC floss. So then, nice snowflakes, I already showed you because it was a finish. Then from July 28th to August 6th, which was yesterday, today is the 7th, I worked on my Heaven and Earth design Christmas cottage. It is a Donna Gelsinger artwork charted by Heaven and Earth. It is the 92 color version, and these are all of the flosses for that, and that's my floss key. So everything is all right there, all together, ready to go. Stitch, stitch, stitch. I finished one page and was able to move on to the next page. The pages, let me show you what a page looks like. Now, I know you're not supposed to show charts, but you're really not going to be able to figure out what's going on, no matter if you took a screenshot of this or not. This is one page. The previous page, I had finished the bottom 3 rows, and then I moved on to this page and was able to get that much of it done. So that is what I'm talking about page-wise. And this is what it looks like as of yesterday. This is on a 16 count light dove gray. I am doing 2 strands over 1 square. Obviously in 16 count it's 4 strands, but it's 1 square. And I am using all the DMC called for colors, plus the sparkle that you see in the snow, that is Kreinik. So everything but the sparkle in the snow is DMC. And I'm hoping I'm not going to finish that this year. I still have 2 full rows of full pages, plus the last row is 3 rows of 10 on the last row. So I still have 30 some pages left to finish, and each page has 4,800 stitches on them, so that's still a lot of stitching yet to go. But maybe if I get really good and get really diligent, maybe by Christmas of next year I can have that done, because I would love to have it finished and ready to go on my wall for Christmas. And I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not a train. So this is the bag I made for it. It is my Little House on the Prairie bag. I found this fabric because Christy from the Floss Boss and Cousins had something, I believe she had a bag made with this fabric, and she was talking about it and told me where to find it. And I have always loved the books of Little House on the Prairie, so I went and got that and made myself a project bag out of it. Okay, so those are all my WIPs. Starting today, I will be getting my 60 is only a number Sal back out and working on it. I hope to finish all the blue, get into the reds and white stripes, and be excited about showing you that next month to let you know how things have progressed with that. So I do not have any new starts. I did not do it. Well, I did. I had the snowman head was actually a new start, but as far along as I got, I counted it more as a WIP than as a new start. But I do have some plans, because I want to get going on some of these patterns that I have bought this year. And I'm really excited about them because I've seen them on other people's floss tubes, and they're just, when they're finished, they're amazing. So one of them that I see on a lot of people's floss tube, it is called the Strawberry Fair. And this strawberry with the little bird, and it's gorgeous when it's finished. Now, having said that, I am not doing the called for colors. I am doing a conversion on mine. Let me set this here. I am going to be stitching it. I got a piece of fabric from 123 Stitch. It is 16 count doubloon. I think it's going to look amazing on this fabric. And I am using a lot. I have all of this fancy floss, and I buy it because it just is so wonderful and beautiful, but then I never use it, and I think, good Lord, woman, why are you buying it and never using it? Well, because it's not called for in anything that I've stitched. I just like it because it's beautiful. So I went through and I found this calls for a lot of Classic Color Works and Weeks dye. I looked at the color on the pattern and then chose something in my stash that would be similar to that. So these are some of the colors. There are two other reds that will be I will be using, but these are going to be the colors. These browns are going to be for the bird. Obviously the greens for the leaves and some of the flower stems, and then these reds and two other reds for the strawberry. And I've done a floss toss on this fabric, and all of those colors stand out beautifully. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be very, very happy with the conversion that I have made. And I always like to change things up to suit my own taste. So this is not something new to me. I do it a lot. The next one that I want to start, these two are going to be living in the same bag together because I'm going to be stitching them kind of at the same time. This pattern, Remember Me Pin Keep. I saw this pattern on the Floss Boss and Cousins. It wasn't Christy. It was... why can't I think of her name? I watch them all the time. Anyway, the other cousin had done this, and it was gorgeous. And I don't normally go for this style of pattern, but there was just something about it. So, once again, I am using some of my fancy floss that I have got over the years. And if you've been watching me, you know that my favorite color is green. So, let's see. Let's try this. See if it'll show up a little bit better for you. Yes, there you go. You see the modeling on it. This is a green. I hope it's coming through as green. But it's kind of minty is the background, and then kind of a olive drab modeling. And the flosses that I'm going to use, this one here is going to be all of the leaves and stems. This will be the highlight for it. This will be the rose. I don't remember. Oh, the hearts. The hearts. There are some hearts on here and some keys. They're kind of hard to see. But at the bottom down here, that's a heart. There's some hearts over here. There's a key over here. So that's what those are going to be. That's the color for them. And then this is going to be an accent color also. I've got it all written down. I can't remember exactly right now where all of these colors are going, but these are going to be the colors that are going to go on this to create my Remember Me pin keep. And this is I believe this is a 14 count. I don't think it is a 16 count. So that's what that is. Another one that I'm planning on starting soon, and this is a Long Dog sampler. It's called Happy Ever After. And I'm going to be doing this for my son and his wife as a gift to them. I bought a couple months ago, I bought this piece of 16 count fabric. It's called Ancient. And it has this beautiful modeling to it. And it's kind of coming across as gray, but in real life, this is kind of blues and purple with some pink highlights. And the thread that I'm going to be using, this purple because purple is his wife's, my daughter-in-law's favorite color is purple. So all of the letters are going to be done in the purple. So roots, love, life, family, all of that will be done in this purple color. The motifs around the outside here, all of these are going to be done in this. It's called Blue Beatrice by Classic Colorworks. And that'll be that. And then the outline around the square outlines around each one of the letters, I'm going to pick a DMC color that I think will go well with these two as a highlight. It's going to be a little bit darker than this blue. And the reason I'm using the blues and the purples is his favorite color is blue and her favorite color is purple. And I want it to be something that both of them are happy with. You know, something that unites them. And the purple is called Ultraviolet by Weeks Dye Works. So there we go. Those are the colors that will be done with that. And finally, the final thing that I am working on, or I'm planning to work on, is this Stitching with the Housewives family. Again, this is for my son and his wife. It is going to be done on a 32 count lichen Lugana. This is going to work better. Yeah, maybe that'll show it to you up a little bit better. And instead of black, I am going to use, it's called Gunmetal by Weeks Dye Works. And then I will use one of my fancy floss for the green, and then the, whoops. For the green vine that goes across the top, I'll use one of my over-dyed threads for that. And then those little hearts that are in there, I am going to use the two colors that I'm using on the long dog, you know, randomly put them in where the red is and make it so that the two pieces kind of complement each other. So sorry about that. If you notice that my camera started shaking, my dogs came in and were bumping into the stand, so I had to tell them to quit so that they weren't making me bounce all over the place. Those are my plans for this coming month, and I hope I get a good portion of all of these things started and in my rotation, because I do have a couple of open spots for new projects to come in because of things that I've finished either last month or this month. And that's why I'm getting these out, getting it all kitted up and getting it ready to go, so that when each month or each week, each week, I'm ready to go. Everything's there. All I got to do is put it into a Q-snap, get my needles out, and take right off. So that's good with that. Plans. The next thing is I did have a few purchases. These I call my postal prizes because the majority of what I get. Oh, so the two flosses that I showed you for the Long Dog sampler, those were new purchases. Before I left the LNS down in California where I was at, I went in and we chose, I had my fabric already. So we went and we did a floss toss, and the owner and I commiserated between the two of us, and we chose those colors. I knew basically what colors I wanted, but I wanted her to tell me if I was going overboard with one color was too. I had picked a different purple, and when I threw it on the fabric with the blue that we had chosen, oh, it just was not going to work. It was way too vibrant for the blue and for the fabric, so we had to change that. But those two things, and then she ordered them so that they would all be from the same dye lot, and then she shipped them up to me here when they finally came in. So those were purchases since I've seen you last. Now the rest of these patterns and cross stitch fabric, all of these are from 123 Stitch. I had this one henpeck. It was on back order because it had sold out. I've seen it on several floss tubes, and it is just so cute. Those chickens are they are funny little girls. So I've got henpeck, and of course things can't travel all by themselves. So when I put that in my cart, sorry, I just went blank for a minute. I also saw this chicken, and I thought, how adorable. So I ordered this. I am not in your wildest dreams have I ever been able to pronounce French. This is a French designer. If you guys want to go ahead and make a stab at the name, that is you are more than welcome, but I am not going to do it because I know I'll just slaughter it. French is not my thing. I also ordered some, like I said, green is my favorite color, and I thought this was going to be more of a medium green. In the picture on my computer, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the pictures, but on my computer it was more of a medium green. When I got it, it was this darker green. But it's still beautiful, and I'm still going to keep it, and I'm still going to find something that I can put on it. It is, the name of the fabric is Woodland. Oh, sorry, dropped my stand. And because I see a lot of floss tubers working on this fabric, I wanted to get a piece and try it. This is Vintage Country Mocha. It's a nice mottled neutral, and it is the 32 count. Yeah, it is the 32 count. So I have some. I am sorry, dropped it again. I will figure out something that I need a neutral for and put it on this and let you know what I come up with. You can see in the background all of my quilting and sewing fabric. I do not need more fabric. However, I was at Joann's because I was looking for a piece of wood for a finish on a previous project. And whenever I go into Joann's, I cannot resist going to the fabric department. And these are some of the fabrics that I found. Ladybugs on daisies. These sweet strawberries. This may be the backing on Strawberry Fair. That was something that I'm considering because I am going to make that into a pillow. So this may be the backing on Strawberry Fair. Of course, it could also become a bag with this fabric or with this fabric. And it could also, we could also be doing a bag with these. We'll just have to wait and see what I come up with. And of course, Halloween was 50% off. Most of my Halloween decoration is in green. I would have liked to have more green and less purple, but beggars can't be choosers, and this was really cute. So I got that. And I got some spider webs. So these will be Halloween decoration. And bags and maybe table toppers. Who knows? It'll go into my stash. And when I finally get all of my crafting supplies up here, there will be sewing going on, and there will be new bags and whatnot. I wanted to let you know my Etsy shop, I have reopened it. It's kind of limited. There's not a whole lot of things in there right now because I thought I had all my crafting stuff and I don't. So I'm not able to restock right now. I have to wait for the stuff to come up with my husband, and really kind of upsets me that I wasn't more diligent about paying attention to where stuff was. But all of my sewing threads, down with him. A lot of my charms are down with him. A lot of my buttons are down with him. I do have a few things, but not enough. And the biggest thing is my irons that I don't have. So it's really hard to do any sewing when you don't have your irons with you. So that's my sad story about my Etsy shop. It is reopened, but there's a limited amount of things that are in it because I just don't have the stuff to replenish right now. When I do get that stuff up here, I will be going to work on sewing things and getting my shop restocked. But you can go over and look and see what I have in it at the moment and just give it a little peek and see if there's anything there that you like. Now, previous finishes. And the reason that I have these out is during the move, we had 3 items that were damaged. All of them were pictures. One of them was a picture that my husband had, and the other 2 were pictures that I had. This one is a one that it was in this frame. This frame my dad found when he was still alive, and he was at an auction, and he found this beautiful frame with the flower embellishments on the corners. And then my mom had stitched the Prayer of St. Francis for me. This was done in 1986. And that's not too long after I started stitching in 1983 or 84. So this was just a couple years after I had been stitching. And the Prayer of St. Francis is the prayer I like the best. And this pattern, I believe it might have been a Stoney Creek pattern, but I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong. But my mom did this for me. I took it out of the frame, washed it, relaced it, and then I took it to a lady here that is local, and she put this mat. She put this mat in and new glass, and this will go up on my wall now. And then the other thing that was damaged was the glass in this. And I don't like the glare on it because it's hard to show you. There we go. But this was a Hannah. I'll put the information in my description. But the fabric came with the kit. It's all done with the floss that came with the kit. And this was finished last year. And I hang this during Christmas time. It's one of her fuzzy animal designs. Hannah, I can't think right now. I'm sorry. She's very popular with a lot of her fuzzy animals. She's got ducks, she's got donkeys, she's got cows, chickens. The cardinal was one of my favorites. She's also got a hen that I would really love to do because she is just so funny and cute. But that's those two, because I just today, when I went in to get my hair cut, the lady called me and said, hey, I finally got all your pictures reframed, if you want to come and pick them up. So got them today. It was fabulous to have them and get them back home, and now they can be hung up on the walls and enjoyed, and just I'm happy to have them back. So that is my Flosstube for today. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy your stitching. Enjoy